Hi everyone, how you doing? Hope you're okay. Welcome to Helen Roscoe Yoga on YouTube. Okay, so today's practice is going to take around about 45 minutes and we are going to explore the concept of getting grounded through postures which really help us to connect towards the earth as a place of support, but then bringing that into ourselves so that we begin to connect more deeply towards our own place of support within us. So everything's going to be quite low to the ground. We're not doing any standing postures in the session that I've planned, but we are going to spend a little bit of time just settling, getting into the breath, just tuning in. And then the next part of the practice will be done kneeling. So it might be useful for you to have a blanket or roll your blanket up at that point. Sorry, roll your mat up just to give yourself some cushioning for your knees, especially if you suffer with your knees. That part of the practice could also be done on the chair, but I'm not going to be demonstrating that, but you could kind of take the movements that I suggest on the chair, working with the spine in the same kind of way that we work with on the ground. So you can make that decision when you arrive at that point in the practice. Okay, so honor yourselves deeply, really tune in, listen to what you need, listen to what you don't need, and from that you can explore what I'm suggesting in a more kind of honest way for yourself. Let's start seated. Just find a comfortable seat of your choice. So could be, I'm obviously raised up onto a bolster here. Some of you might have access to a block or two. If you layer them up, you could use books in this way and place a blanket over the top for comfort. So that's one way to raise your seat, raise your hips off the ground. A cushion, and then equally you could use a chair as well. So you need to be in a position whereby you feel comfortable in your body, mainly so that you don't just take your mind's awareness to the points of tension. So just take a few moments to settle into your seat of choice. You could be cross-legged or kneeling if you're supported on the ground. And just let your hands rest lightly onto the tops of your thighs. Your shoulders should be spacious away from the ears. So just notice whether there is any holding on around the top of your shoulders and your neck. And then your hands are really lightly placed. You might want to even just turn your palms to face up slightly and soften into the elbows. So just take a few moments to notice how you feel physically. What is it that is coming to your attention in the first place? Perhaps there are points of stiffness or discomfort, maybe areas where you might be holding on unnecessarily. What can you do in order to allow those areas to feel more at ease? Notice how you're feeling energetically, whether there is an urge for you to almost get up and jump around, or whether you would prefer to come to rest onto your back or sit in silence. Notice what is taking you in which direction. And then just acknowledging where you are emotionally and mentally, what you're bringing to the session and what you hope to achieve from taking part. For many of us, there is still a lot of change and uncertainty or confusion occurring in terms of what we can and can't do. And this can be very unsettling for us physically as well as mentally. And then alongside that, we have the change in season. We're moving from summer, it feels, into the autumn. The temperature is shifting and there's a breeze or there's a rain or there's a storm. There's something that's mixing around. And again, that can cause confusion for us both physically and emotionally in terms of what we might be deciding to wear or eat or go. There's so many layers that the change in season impacts. So just take a few moments to acknowledge that this is going to be a grounding practice in order for you to focus on nourishing your energies so that we can maybe move towards a place of calm and steadiness in our mind and body. So over the next few moments, just gradually bring an awareness to your nostrils and simply become aware that you are breathing in. And then notice that you are breathing out. Often our breath is also mixed up in all of this movement. Sometimes you might observe that your breath is a little short, perhaps irregular. So over the next few rounds of following your natural flow of breath, just gradually see what you can do in order to maybe bring about a sense of calm, a sense of steadiness or rhythm. So that could just be simply sighing the breath out as you exhale and lengthening on the exhalation. It could be that as you breathe in, you deepen on the in-breath and notice that there is a sense of expanse around your chest, your rib cage. And then sighing the breath out again helps to calm our system internally. So over the next few breaths, as you inhale, just take your awareness more fully towards your heart space, your rib cage, and observe that sense of expansion that arises, that sense of space. Then as you breathe out, gradually sighing that breath out, bring your awareness down through towards your abdomen and just lightly draw your belly in towards the spine for support. Taking 6 breaths whereby you focus on a long inhalation and then on an exhalation, as if you're sounding the word who, but you're whispering the breath. So it will sound a little bit like this. I'm not sure whether you can hear me, but just imagine that soft whispering sound of the who breath. And you can count your breath by turning in your palms and inhaling, extending out your thumb. Exhale, soft whispering who sound through the mouth. Inhale, extend your index finger. Exhale, the soft who whisper as you breathe out. And follow your breath out as if it is endless, limitless, taking you out towards a horizon. So continue to take a further 4 breaths, breathing in through the nostrils, extending your finger out at one at a time, exhaling. And then again. Twice more. And then once more. And with that whispering sound, I'd like you to internalize that towards an ujjayi or ocean sounding breath, with your chin slightly drawn in towards the throat. And you're making the sighing sound as you inhale, drawing the air in towards the back of the throat, and then as you exhale, whispering. It's almost like the breath passes your throat and you exhale with that same ocean sound quality. And continue to deepen your inhalations and lengthen your exhalations. This time, as you breathe in, just bring an awareness to the crown of your head, or where you perceive the crown of your head to be. And follow your breath, inhaling from the crown of your head down through towards your seat. So the center of your pelvis kind of through towards the sit bones, really centrally down through your body. And then exhale from that seat down through towards the earth. So you're connecting the exhalation down through towards the earth. And then trace your inhale back along your spine to the crown of your head, and then inhale the breath back down through your body centrally, what you perceive to be central. So just check that you are feeling tall in your spine. You're not collapsing through in your lower back. When you follow your breath down through towards the base of your seat, and then exhale out down through the base of your seat towards the earth. And continue to follow your breath in this way. So you're focusing the mind along the spine downwardly as you inhale, connecting towards your seat, and then exhale down through towards the earth. And with each in-breath, have a sense that you are taking on nutrients, minerals, expansion, space, whatever you feel you need in the moment. And then as you exhale, you're releasing tension, you're letting go towards the earth. And notice how there is a place of support at the base as you make contact, as you notice that you are in contact with the earth through the base of your body. So it's almost like you can rest there at the ground at the end of your exhalation, and then continue to flow your awareness down, 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 down as you release tension in your body. Okay, coming up onto your knees and bringing yourself into an all-fours position. So at this point you might decide a blanket is useful for you here underneath your knees. And I'd like you to establish connection through the hands, through the knees, and into the feet towards the ground. Take a breath in here so you're steady. And then on the exhalation, lower to your elbows and then extend your elbows away from your shoulders, bringing your hands towards one another. Take a breath in here, find some space around your shoulders, and then on the exhale, just sense that you are letting your head move closer towards the ground as you extend your hips and your pelvis in the direction of your heels. Breathing in, just finding some length and space around your shoulders. Exhale. Have a sense that you are letting go of tension around your shoulders as you stretch a little further into your lower back. Some of you may prefer to have your toes tucked under, so just see which position is working best for you. One more breath here. Notice how you are in contact with the earth and how your body is able to release in the direction of the ground with each exhalation. Bring yourself slowly back up onto all fours and have a sense that your spine is centrally placed between the shoulders and your pelvis. So you're not collapsing down towards the ground. Lightly draw your belly in towards the spine, and as you inhale, this time extend your heart space forwards towards the wall in front of you and your sit bones back towards the wall, slightly diagonally up behind you. On the out breath then, as you press into your hands, your knees, your feet, extend your spine towards the sky, so you're stretching along your back. Inhale, lengthen, so you're finding space along the front of your body, between your pelvis and your shoulders, your collarbones. Exhale, as you begin to draw your pelvis and your collarbones towards one another, you're finding space along the back of your body, across the top of your shoulders, through the base of your spine. So continue to explore, inhaling along the front of the body, exhaling along the back of the body, and notice how you have that contact with the ground and the earth all the while, bringing with it that greater sense of support and groundedness with each inhale and exhale. Come back through to center. Maybe just take your arms a little away from you so there's some space there. Come onto the knees And as you take a breath in, just emphasize yourself here. So lift your heart. And then on the exhale, take your feet towards the right and stretch your hips in the direction of your heels. On the in-breath, you're going to come through on the knees, come forwards, and on the out-breath, towards the left. And you might like to rotate your head onto the right arm. So breathing in, you come through. Breathing out, you stretch back. Notice how you are supported on that in-breath, propped up slightly, and then on the out-breath, you can begin to release and stretch into that space that you're providing for yourself. Once more to each side. You can rest your head onto the opposite arm from which you are moving. Come back through center, and then we'll start circling. So your arms, if they can still be slightly ahead of you, you're going to start bringing on the in-breath around towards the right. You'll feel your body weight on your right hand, your left knee, and then your right knee. So the in-breath will bring you forwards, and the out-breath sends you back. And I'd like you to explore your circles in a way that is useful to you. So whether those circles are wide and spacious, or whether they're smaller and more considered, will be dependent upon how you're feeling. And explore parts, perhaps the sides of your waist, expanding and lengthening, changing direction on your next round. And notice how the ground is supporting you in this movement. You're able to be fluid and flowing because you are integrally supported by the earth. So there's this connection that's greater than just being placed on the ground. You're really allowing it to support your movement. This time on the exhale, take your hips back towards the heels as comfortably far as is possible for you. Hands onto the lower back. And then with an inhalation, extend your arms out to the sides, coming up onto the knees. You're standing on your knees, tall along your torso, hands slightly touch. Exhale, fold forwards and down. Settle in towards the earth and then wait for the in-breath to rise through the chest. The arms sweep. Keep lengthening along the sides of the body. And then exhale, draw the belly in. Take the hips back, hands towards your lower back. So pause at the end of the out-breath to find that support. And then inhale, coming from the earth with that sense of expansion and rise, enveloping yourself within a full circle. So the exhale can take you to the earth here. And then the inhale guides you up in the direction of the sun. And just exploring this once more in your time. When you complete the round that you're on, just guiding your hands lightly towards the heart space and pause here as you breathe in. Sigh the breath as you exhale. And then coming to rest onto your back. So bringing your hands alongside your body, your feet on the ground, your shoulders are spacious, your hands are really light, lightly opened as if you're holding a delicate flower. Your feet are about hip width apart. And just let yourself be held on the ground here for a few moments. Or maybe even a feeling that you are merging with the ground. There's a relationship that is being formed. And
And through that relationship, you're inviting a sense of release and letting go. Hands placed beside you. Take a breath in and lift your fingertips in the direction of the sky. You can either take your arms out onto the ground behind you or to shoulder level, depending on what's happening with your shoulders. As you exhale, lower the arms down, lightly draw your belly in towards the spine, hands placed onto the ground. Wait for the in-breath to lift the fingertips up once more. And if you're extending your arms over onto the ground behind you, just imagine you're drawing an arc or a semicircle of light around your body once more. Continue to flow with your breath. As you breathe in, the arms go back and up or out to the sides at shoulder level. On the out breath, bring the knees in over the belly, place your hands onto the top of the knees. As you inhale, lightly let your knees just drift away from you. On the out breath, lightly letting your knees draw in over your belly. With your next inhalation, extend your heels up towards the sky. Take your arms up and over onto the floor behind you. Exhale, lower down. Breathing in, extend your heels up in the direction of the sky, arms up and over onto the ground. Exhale, the knees in, hands lightly placed onto the top of the knees. Breathing in, lightly drawing the knees away from you. Breathing out, the knees come in over your belly. So notice how the back of your body, your spine is really supported here, your head, your shoulders, so that you can move more freely from your hips along your knees through towards your feet and even your toes, and then also your arms, your wrists and elbows, and your hands, your fingertips. So you have that support beneath you so that you can explore this extension and expansion in your body each time. So when you come up into this shape with your feet up towards the sky, exhale the hands onto the sides of the legs. So you might find you're coming onto the thighs. If you are flexible, it could be that your hands are further up the shin bones or even towards the toes. If you have tight hamstrings like me, you're going to just bring your knees into a slightly released position and then potentially hands onto the calves or onto the outer edges of the thighs. Start circling. And it's as though you are drawing a circle with your feet or even your heels around your pelvis. And you can draw this circle because you are supported by the ground. And it's okay for you to rock around a little here and explore movement in a way that is useful. If you feel there is a little too much tension, bend the knees and continue to circle. But notice how your lower back gets to shift and move, almost like you're massaging the sides of each part of your spine. And changing direction if you haven't done so already. But then the part of you that's really anchored is sort of from your mid-spine through across the shoulders and your head. Just bring an awareness to the back of your head for a few moments and notice the connection towards the legs. Okay, draw the knees in over the belly. Just lightly let your knees rest in there for a few moments. And then place your feet onto the ground, hands beside you, feet together, inner edges of feet, knees and thighs. As you breathe in, take your knees out to the side and extend your arms overhead. See how it feels to settle here as you breathe out. If this doesn't feel safe for you to stay for a breath, you can bring the inner thighs together and lower the arms, and you can continue to flow between those two shapes of opening through the knees and the arms and then coming back on the exhale. If it feels okay for you to stay on the out breath, draw the belly in towards the spine, so you bring in this sense of abdominal support, in particular for your lower back and your pelvis junction. And then when you take your next out breath, let the out breath guide you back. And see how it feels to take another 2 more rounds of this movement. With each exhalation, finding support and structure in your shape. And with each in-breath then, exploring a sense of further expanse, with that idea of nutrients and minerals being harnessed. The exhale then connects you back towards that sense of groundedness as you come home. So once more. When you've completed the round that you're on, just bringing your feet a little closer towards your bottom. Turn your palms to face up. Just take a full breath in here, and then sigh the breath out. Place your hands beside you with your palms facing down. Snuggle your chin in towards your throat. Have a sense that you are connecting through the base of your pelvis, back of your pelvis, your lower back. So lightly draw your belly in towards the spine. Just wait for your next inhalation and then pressing into the feet and raising with the pelvis and the spine off the ground. Coming into a bridge. As you exhale, let your spine lower down, the middle of your back, base of your spine, and then your pelvis. Inhale, rising, expanding into your shape. On the exhale, lowering down gradually. At some point you might find, if you were to take this practice with me again, it might be useful for you to place a block or a blanket in between your knees and your thighs, just so there's this further activation and groundedness within the shape. And try not to rush into that inhalation. So notice when you meet the ground, how that feels as you settle there. And then you can let that in-breath take you up once more. When you've completed the round that you're on and there's no rush, just take a few moments to notice how you're feeling at this stage in your practice. Come back to that sense of support beneath you through the back of your body. And on an exhalation, invite your knees in over your belly. Just take a hold at the top of the knees lightly with your hands. And on the in-breath, extend your knees away from you, your arms lengthen. And then on the out-breath, bring the knees in. So this is a really gentle posture. Try not to push and pull. We're just trying to bring back a sense of balance. Just taking this once or twice more in your time. And when you've completed, you can roll onto your side. Just take a few easy breaths here. And then slowly bringing yourself up. And we're going to do a little bit of seated work. So thinking about moving into a seated twist, I'll just give you a couple of options here.
Let's start with right leg extended out onto the ground in front of you, and then bring the left heel so that it is resting alongside the right knee. Some of you may find that you're able to tuck then the right heel closer towards your left side. So then you bring your hands onto the left knee, and as you breathe in, have a sense that you're lifting your heart in the direction of the sky. So you're really grounded through the sit bones, you're tall in your spine, lengthy from your seat through to the crown of your head. And then on the out breath, begin to bring your right elbow onto the left leg, and then your left hand behind you as you begin to take your gaze along your left shoulder. So for some of you, you could just be taking a hold lightly of that leg there and extending yourself round. So we're kind of staying in this shape now, but with each in-breath, maybe just drawing yourself forwards with your gaze, and then with each out-breath, really activate your abdomen. So you draw your belly back towards the spine as you begin to extend and rotate yourself along your left shoulder. Your fingertips are really light on the ground here. As you breathe in, perhaps you could press in there. Notice the ground providing length along your spine. And then on the exhale, rotating further into that space, as if your heart is moving towards the wall behind you. Come back through on an inhalation. Exhale, extend your left leg along the ground. Take a breath in here, and then on the out breath, the right foot comes over pretty much alongside your left knee, and you bring your hands onto the top or in front of that shin bone. So if you're wanting to work a little more deeply into this twist, you could bring your left heel towards the right side of your buttocks. So you're breathing in, sense of lift from the ground through towards the heart. Breathing out, then left hand onto right thigh, right hand behind you. On the in-breath, have a sense that you are lengthening through your sit bones. You might be able to notice or perceive your sit bones getting that contact with the ground there as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, lightly drawing your abdomen back towards the spine as you rotate yourself a little further into that seated twist. So be really gentle here. We don't want to really push or pull ourselves into this shape. Be mindful of what you are experiencing from one moment to the next. When you've taken that maybe once or twice more with your breath, come back through on the inhalation. Extend your legs out in front of you. Just soften your knees a little. And then taking a support, so either folded blanket or something like this block shape, so a book would work as well. You place underneath your bottom and your legs are out in front of you and softening into the knees. So I'm particularly, because I run and I used to be a sprinter, I have tight hamstrings, my glutes, potentially my lower back sometimes, but in particular this area. So if you're like me in that sense, then I would recommend really releasing those knees. Some of you might find that you're okay to have more of a press down through the heels, but just be really mindful of what you're experiencing here. The most important thing is that we are finding some space in our spine, so we're not, again, collapsing through into this lower back or rounding across the shoulders and just kind of pressing our spine into positions that aren't healthy. So hands alongside you, keeping the chin drawn in towards your throat. Think about that who breath as you exhale. So with the inhale, extend the arms alongside your ears and then who the breath out with that whisper, or you could blow the breath out as you come down towards the ground. Inhale, extend the arms alongside your ears to come up, and then a slow and mindful exhale, blowing or soft whispering of the who breath towards the ground.
Twice more. When you come down on this fourth round, just let your hands find the ground. And that could mean then that they're really drawn back towards you, so your elbows are soft. Bring your awareness to the crown of your head. And as you breathe in, trace your awareness from the crown of your head along your spine through towards your seat. Then as you exhale, just see if you can let that exhalation melt you a little further in the direction of the ground, the earth. Inhale, crown of head, along your spine towards the base of your seat. Let the out breath merge you in the direction of the ground as you release and let go of tension. One more breath here. Inhale, extend the arms alongside your ears. Bring yourself back upright. Exhale, lower the arms down. Come back into a comfortable seated position of your choice. And we will take a little bit more focused breath work with meditation before we do a short relaxation. So bring yourself into comfortable cross-leg, kneeling or seated onto the chair. And I'd like you for a few moments just to be aware of the points of contact that you have with the ground. So notice what is grounding you, finding support, and then float your awareness from the earth through towards the crown of your head, and just have a sense that your head is balanced evenly on top of your spine. So there's this feeling of neutral alignment or neutral balance along the spine through towards the crown of the head. Almost like you are really centering yourself in relation to the ground. As you inhale, begin to visualize the earth's nutrients and minerals in your bones. And as you exhale, have a sense that you are releasing tension through the soft tissue that surrounds your bones, so your muscles, your ligaments, your joints, maybe even more subtle than that in your cells. So the in-breath, crown of your head through towards your seat as you welcome the earths and minerals to your bones. The out-breath from your seat in towards the earth as you release your muscles and your soft tissue away from your bones. And at the end of that exhalation, just really have a sense of the ground beneath you, maybe even further than that, through towards the earth's core. Wherever you can take your awareness, just have a sense that you're really letting go towards that space. And as you work with this meditation, inhaling crown of head towards your seat, absorbing the earth's nutrients, exhaling seat into earth, letting go of tension. So with each in-breath, there's this drawing in of vitality from the earth. And then with each out-breath, we let go of everything else towards the earth. Your breath can now just be natural and light.
Placing your hands at your heart space. Take a breath in and extend your fingertips in the direction of the sky. And then just trace your body as you exhale around your shoulders, and have a sense that as you're tracing your body, you're still continuing to release and let go. With the in-breath, visualizing the earth's nutrients and minerals being absorbed by your bones, and with the out-breath, releasing as you trace your body, allowing yourself to merge with the earth. Once more. And after you complete the round that you're on, just pause for a few moments. Extend your feet out on the ground in front of you. And then I'm going to invite you to come into rest onto your back. And if your legs are feeling tired, it might be quite nice to place your calves onto the top of a chair so that you can really begin to let go of tension in the legs. If you don't have a chair, then placing a rolled up blanket or some cushions underneath your knees for support will provide you with a similar opportunity to release tension through the legs. And then just have a sense that your shoulders are becoming spacious, like they're spreading themselves away from the spine. Let your palms face up towards the sky, as if you are holding a delicate flower in the palm of each hand. But if you prefer to place your hands onto your body, just find a position that works best for you. And with an awareness of your natural breath, I'm just going to bring you back to this sense of grounding and support. That as you breathe in, each inhalation draws upon the earth's nutrients and minerals, and you welcome that into your entire being. Then as you breathe out, just have that deep sense of release and letting go. Almost as if your body is just merging towards the velvet-like comfort of the earth's surface. So you're being cushioned and supported and nourished by the earth. So you are welcome to stay in your resting position for a little while longer. You're welcome to maybe turn off your screen at this stage and stay there for a little while, just so that you can really experience that deep sense of release and letting go, supported by the ground. And for those of you who are ready to bring a close to your practice, just gradually stretching in a way that feels useful for you. Finding your way towards a comfortable seat of your choice. And when you arrive seated, just take a breath in. And as you exhale, sigh the breath out. Take a breath in. As you exhale, maybe let your eyes open softly. Let them rest somewhere on the ground in front of you, and just take a few moments to acknowledge that space before you begin to welcome in more light and colour from the wider space. And you can take this practice with me anytime you wish, whenever you feel that you need to get grounded, that you need to tune into that sense of inner support with your breath and with your movement and with your ability to remain calm and still in moments of chaos. So thank you everyone for joining me today. Let us know how you got on. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to bringing more practices to you soon. Okay, look after yourselves, and I'll touch base with you sometime very soon. Bye bye.